everyone, I am pulling the handles now for my citrus juicers. So I'm going to keep these kind of wide. It's a big wide pot, so I think it needs a wide handle. So I will pull a handful of these wider lugs. Then I need to trim those things first. And then I will pull the handles onto them. So they're not going to be that big. I don't need that much. That feels pretty substantial. So this is just a handle pulling review. Pull the lugs, set them aside, and then pull them off the pot. All right, I am pulling the handles onto my citrus, what are they called? Juicers. And as they dry, I'll kind of set them up a little higher, but they probably will slump in the fire. So I want to plan for that and probably wax, when I'm firing it, wax the bottom or just not glaze it. Okay, so here I have my pre-pulled lugs, and I'm gonna get this juicer. I saw these online for like 40 bucks or something like that. I thought that was a pretty good price for one of these. So I'm gonna go straight across from my spout. I can make a little line there, make sure that's the center. I'm going to score the side and the top, because this is a handle. There's very little height there, so I need the handle to kind of come up and then attach right underneath it. So I'll score up the rim here, maybe even a little bit on the inside, and I'll be attaching it kind of on an angle here. Pick the thicker side, dip that, and I'll just work this in. I'll spend a moment here, squishing it in kind of on top of the rim there. And let me just use my fingers and work it in just a little bit. Squish, squish, squish. Okay, great. And what I've been doing is working this up. So creating a little bit of a design here in the handle by just pressing up the handle towards the attachment. I can support it underneath and do this with my finger. Just trying to make them kind of even and make these little kind of paw print attachments, which I think really suits this form really well. And then let's see if we can do that also on the side. Create that there, and on this side, create that there. The attachment spots are there already, so just to give it a little love, a little shape there is nice. Okay, now let me pick this up and attach it right here so it's really nicely attached. Nobody's going to see this part, so I want to really attach it. It doesn't need any special treatment here, just to be well attached. Okay, and I'll go back with my fingers later to reinforce those marks that I just made, but it's kind of an outline for me for now. Okay, and as I pull it, they'll get kind of reinforced. So now I hope you can see this. Let me see here. There we go. Okay. pulling it first kind of straight down, and then I'm gonna start tipping this so the juicer is kind of upside down. Find a way to hold it. It's nice that it has this little handle there. And doing my best to keep the handle wide but thin, and if I can, tapering it towards the tail, this bottom here. Okay. This is a very long one, so I'm gonna have extra. Getting it even more at an angle, kind of fortifying these lines now. I'm getting towards the end. So I want those to look pretty. I'll fortify the ones on the side with my finger. Because after this is on, I'm just gonna leave it alone. Okay, so here we are. Checking it here to make sure it's aligned. I'm gonna press it in at the bottom. That's my attachment. Now, this camera, okay. Really pressing it in there. I'm gonna trim the tail, I don't need that much. I'm gonna fold this up in the middle, and I'm gonna just kind of grab it here, and with these 3 fingers, here comes another little paw print. You can do this any way you want, but I like these paw print handles, but just like I said with spouts, you know, I've just been doing it this way for a long time, and I don't have a ton of experience with lots of different styles, and I would like to learn other styles of handle attachment. As a production potter, you're often just kind of doing what's easy and quick and what works. Okay, so the very last thing to do now is to give this handle some shape so we can get some fingers in there. And then I'll set this down to dry, and then I'll go back and check on it in a little while and make sure it hasn't slumped too badly, and just reinforce this shape and the lift here. And if it did really start slumping, I could take a little bit of clay and just put it underneath and prop that up, and that will help it dry lifted.